Hello, Zaxus. You're in that spot just before you're awake. You really want to be awake because something is bugging you, something you're supposed to be doing, one you're supposed to be watching, and fuck, they're gone. There's no way they're not gone. The headache, it's not even a headache, it's too big for your headache. It goes all the way down your thorax. It hurts everywhere. You've been hungover before, this isn't that. This is worse. Given your line of work, you've been drugged before, too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely what this is. Common sense and practicality says you should just lay here. Wait a minute, you're not laying down, you're standing up.
I peer around the room and try to see. I pull on the long, 6-foot chain handcuffs that I had attached to one of my six hands and just see if it's attached to anything.
As soon as you start to move your elbows, all of them bump into walls. They're right here. You lean back, there's a wall right there. You lean forward and then the front of your carapace touches another wall right there. This is tiny. It's an oddly specific shape.
Okay. Is there any... There's no source of light?
It is
Do I hear anything?
absolutely black in here.
Okay, I'd like to just start feeling along the edges of the walls and see if there's any mechanism or anything that can be used. So take out my lighter and
Get all 5 of your claws looking for the exit. And just as you reach for the lighter, something hits you with a stick right on the antenna. They know what they're doing. That'll hurt.
something hit me.
Somebody hit you from behind with a stick. You felt it in this tiny little space.
I guess he is going to turn on the lighter and look around this small room. If he can't really turn like a chicken in a coop, he's just gonna let the rage boil inside him and try and find one of his cigars as he's looking around.
Hit the light. You're in the closet. There's a mop bucket in the corner, and the mop got bumped when you were trying to move around, and it hit you in the back of the head. There's a door directly in front of you, and if you light the cigar in here, it's going to get awfully smoky awfully quick.
And then open up the door, gun out first, laser pistol out first, looking through the crack.
The other 3 of you on the ship see the closet door open. Pff, smoke billows out. And we'll see you all in a minute. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us early so you didn't miss the cold open. We're going to do that all the time now because it's fun. Anyway, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. These amazing people have agreed to come and play with me this evening in a silly game of Tiny Frontiers. It's got a very serious name, Aftermath, but that's just to fool people. Let's get the technicals out of the way. Our virtual tabletop of choice is Roll20. The character art, the tokens that you're seeing were all done using Hero Forge. Some of the new features include spinny aroundy tokens and all kinds of good stuff. We are not sponsored by them, or I'd tell you more about their stuff. But that means that we can move on to these wonderful, marvelous, and amazing people. They have all agreed to come and play with me, knowing what I do, and that makes me very happy every time somebody says yes. So let's go around the table and see who they are and what they do when they're not here. Let's start with Nick. How is your off-stream game going?
It's going well. It's one of those, it's a bi-weekly game, so you don't get to get too many updates from me, but it's on this week, and maybe I'll have more news.
And
maybe I won't. It's hard to tell.
I understand that you have had a guest recently? Or they've joined the game, perhaps?
No.
No? Okay. Pardon me,
Oh,
completely
as far
misinformed.
as somebody, no. I didn't really see them as much as a guest. Is like they're joining because we're kind of doing a side campaign,
Oh, there you go.
and maybe they're going to be, maybe more permanent to the campaign. That would be like nice.
That is very cool, and that just absolutely proves that we plan none of this shit before we go live. I got the information completely wrong, and I've just been corrected. Thank you. So enjoy that game and all those people. Next. Oh, you popped in last week after a very long, drawn-out time away. But you are back now. And you bring us Cordelia, the hard-light hologram, who is a bit of a hard ass, too, from what I can tell so far. Thank you so much for joining us, Wayward Knight. Where can we find you? Please post links, etc.
Yes, I have the links ready today.
Good.
So, I am a lot of things, but I put a lot of my art. I do a lot of art. I put it on Redbubble and on TeePublic. They have most of the same stuff, but there are some different things on the different websites. I can speak today.
It's okay. It's all right. You should have seen me last night. We were making up words because my lips wouldn't make the right ones, so we were all good.
I know that feeling.
But thank you for joining us. And yes, your stuff is there. And yes, please do go to our Discord site. Not only can you meet all these wonderful people, but you can also be part of a really supportive community as well.
Do it.
I didn't forget you. I didn't forget you. I just saved you for last. Every time somebody joins us, I always do this little thing where I remind all of us that do this on a regular basis and everybody that watches at home. It's pretty scary to live stream stuff, and it can get really terrifying to do it with a group of complete strangers. So every time somebody joins us for the first time, I'm always ecstatic that they're brave enough to do it. So joining us this time, Eddie, thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking very much forward to your character, but
thank you.
You do stuff, so tell us about your stuff.
Hi, my name's Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. I work with all the other fine folks here on another project that may or may not be out of NDA sometime soon. I'll post my links, but I've broken down and I have a TikTok and I have an Instagram. So let's see what happens tonight. I'm playing Zaxxas.
Zaxxas. And you got a first-time chat thing now, because... Yeah, look at that. Thank you. And then the link tree is right there. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. That's the intros out of the way. That means we can get back to this game. Describe, if you would be so kind, Zaxxas as he stumbles out enveloped in cigar smoke.
In smoke, yeah. You see the barrel of a laser pistol just kind of creaking past the door as two like blood red eyes peek through this 7'9" insectoid creature, kind of peers through, gun drawn, looking around the room, just goes, "Where the hell is he?" As he's essentially holding the two of you at gunpoint across the room.
Three.
But he's
There's
like
currently
determined.
3 of them, but
The 3 of them.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a long kind of trench coat, and he has a hollow tie to make himself look a little bit more professional and responsible. But yeah, just very serious. And is that a human in the back there? Come on.
Who are you?
Who am I? Why did I wake up in a broom closet? You need to start answering my questions. Name's Zaxxas PI.
Holding a PI?
Yeah. Do you not know what that means?
No, I do, but that brings up a couple questions. How long have you been here? Also, why were you in the broom closet?
Well, it looks like we have a mystery on our hands, and you're not technically correct. I don't have one gun. And he pulls out a second gun from underneath his cloak with a revolver that's aimed directly at the human in the back of the room. And kind of peers towards him. I know, unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but
That's okay.
says something along the lines of, "You look awfully familiar."
Me or him?
you see
Him.
You see Carl sort of cringe at this. Look over, look back down, look over, look back down. oh shit. And one of the doors opens, one of the doors opens, and roaring into the room at speed. I'll describe him from the bottom up. Imagine about a 30 centimeter rubberized wheel tire. It's about a foot. On a half a pogo stick with a U-shaped carrier above that a stretcher can go through. And a little box above that does medical stuff on the person in the stretcher. And above that, a retro 70s TV looking box with a happy smiling face on it. Comes skidding to a stop in the middle of the room. Hey, everybody, I'm Ambulance, and that guy's fucked unless I take him to the hospital.
Would you like assistance?
Oh, that's nice. But even if you had papers, I wouldn't be allowed to. Excuse me.
Would you like assistance putting him in the stretcher?
Watch this. And he scoots over, and he's a monopod, right? So he has to kind of like somebody on a unicycle, and he gets right over next to Carl, who's hoisting himself up on one of the control panels. He's having trouble because his whole right leg, as he pulls it up, is a black matte finish, and it's not flexible. It's not moving at all, and you can see the pattern of crossing lines like this. An Ambulance says, "Oh, yeah, I've never seen a worse case of carbon fiber fever." And he just scoots up behind Carl and kind of tickles him. And Carl goes, "Ha!" And as he lays out flat, Ambulance extends a stretcher front and back. Boom! It slides underneath him and scoops him. And the metal bars go clang, 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 clang. "For your safety, please remain still." And he starts heading out of the room at ridiculous speed, yelling at the top of his lungs, "Nee-nor, nee-nor, nee-nor." It's not a siren, it's him. "Nee-nor, nee-nor, nee-nor." Out the door, the door slams shut.
Oh, that was
That's
Peculiar.
the second time I've seen that happen.
Am I the only living creature on this spaceship besides that sick guy?
It appears
Don't
so.
know his name.
argue that I'm alive.
Like looks.
You can see
you made
through.
a hard light, right?
Yeah, you can see through them, yes. And the other one's an Autoborg, who's basically as tall as you.
Caked in mud.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, you've had a chance to clean up.
No, I haven't cleaned up intentionally because I like the mud.
Right. All right. That's different.
The mud is from home.
Never mind the distractions. Where am I? And who are you?
Okay, number one, we're in a weird pocket
Well,
universe.
number one, we're in trouble seemingly, but that's.
That's not where though. That's what.
I
Oh,
almost
have you
forgot.
seen the star?
I almost forgot. Sitting at the
Yeah, have
helm,
you seen the weird green blob
Ed
star?
cocks towards the glass
The
to
captain?
see.
as you scan across, behind these two, sitting in the helm chair, an Invex. But you can see through them too. They're a hologram as well. They're sitting at the helm, being very, very efficient with all their hands. They look over at you without stopping their programming, nod slightly, look back.
I give him the
pointedly at
Invex
the
nod
window.
back.
Yeah. Looks pointedly back at the window. And you look out and you see what looks like a perfectly normal sun. It is, in fact, a G2C, same as Earth's sun. But it's about 1/3 covered in boiling green, bubbling plasma masses, in which yellow lightning is starting to form.
Current theory, they sent us here to be disposed of.
They.
I don't know who they is, but I'm pretty sure they are responsible.
Well, they are going, says the captain, they are going to win any way you can put this unless we decide what we're going to do. We have a very small amount of maneuvering fuel left. Are we going to, and he starts using his arms to tick stuff off instead of his fingers. Are we going to the Bankrupt Pirates Incorporated? Are we going to Ha-Ha's, and he starts reading off a chart, heavily armed and highly agitated scientists? Or are we going to the Workers' Party?
Why don't we just go away?
We haven't got enough fuel and this thing needs a lot of repairs. We need to land somewhere.
I say
And
pirates.
the planets probably are better
Wait,
bet if we need to
I
land.
thought you said that the pirates were broke.
They are
Not really going to do much good for us.
Without moving his several of his hands, in the front window, the big screen changes, and it shows you the web page for Ye Old Pirates LLC. The web page hasn't been updated in a couple of years. There's been no posts in at least 6 months.
Comic Sans on this thing. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. They
They don't even
scanned down
have
through
money for
couple
a
more
graphic
articles.
designer. We should pick one of the two groups on the surface of this planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had to close down their chats because people were making fun of their one and only trap. You know, it's not good. Plus, you are, frankly, more likely to find good help on the surface. Given
Be
the choice
heavily
between
armed may be easier
scientists
to persuade.
and the people that built the scientific space. But the true captain looks at you and says, "So?" And he has created 3 virtual buttons. One's got a skull and crossbones. One says ha-has, and the other one just a red flag with a sickle on it.
Well, if we're the only ones on the ship to vote, he puts his guns away. I suggest the scientists might know what's going on with the weird sun. Puts his vote towards the
just
ha-has.
don't say the word
Our
workers.
probes have indicated they have a much greater interest in the atmosphere of the planet, although they may know a bit about the sun.
I feel like they should know at least that the sun is going to kill them.
As you're having this conversation, you look over and you see the captain has already pushed the button for ha-has.
Oh, that was a vote. Oh, okay. This is
You feel the ship starting
guess
to
I'm-
lift slightly.
the only living creature on this ship, right? Besides that human.
Like
Nobody
I
else?
said, you
It appears
could
so.
argue that I'm alive.
I'm not a politician. I don't argue things. I just do.
Why
Sorry,
do you have
sorry.
to be a politician? I mean, people argue all the time.
I suppose. I'm not really gonna begin arguing with you about arguing, because then that's just gonna prove your point. Sorry, what was your
but
name
that's
again?
the most fun.
Big Metal
How
Man.
much
What's your
longer
name?
Until
Sorry,
we have arrived at planet Serera Plicro.
Serrera. Okay.
Behind you, the captain causes the ship to lift even more, and you head for this little hematite marble in the sky. This planet, buffed absolutely smooth and shiny by the close sun and its proximity to it for all these decades. The little teardrop-shaped moon that is tidally locked to the sun, not the planet, so it moves around, constantly pointing in different directions. The pirate's
Can I maybe
SOS signal now, I'm assuming, muted. If not, it's still going beep, 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 beep. But probably you've muted it by now. The scientists, yes, they have had their passwords changed. As you drop towards the surface, you start
Can I
to
steal the probe as we drop to the atmosphere?
Yes, you absolutely can. I was just going to say, what would you like to do? Dropping a probe in, give us a
Oh
standard
no, I mean
test.
I'm saying at the opposite. As we're going through the atmosphere, I figure we're gonna like pass one of the scientists' atmospheric probes, and I want to steal one.
Oh, the atmospheric probes are all on the ground, so you'd have to land. They're
I
not
want to
flying
drop one.
around.
Then I want to put one in the atmosphere. Then they're not gonna put one in there.
But as you approach, who's on comms?
I am comms.
Okay. So you go back to the base, back to comms, because for a little while Carl took over last time, but while you were wandering about looking for other things. But you move back to comms, and you scan the area ahead of you. There is a pattern of them, almost like a spider web of them, emanating from this nondescript point on this nondescript marble.
Hmm.
Where do you land the ship? Who's on helm? That's Cordelia, right?
Nope, that's
Oh no, that's the captain, right? Captain,
Hollow
yeah.
Captain,
Yeah, the
yeah.
captain. He looks back at the three of you. So where do I land?
Can we call him Hollow Cap?
I can't even hit you. You can call me whatever you want. And his hand goes whiff, whiff, whiff through stuff. He's not hard light.
I mean, we know at least the base at the pole. We determined that last time.
Yep.
What if we land on the pole?
That would be.
That would probably wreck our ship.
The pole is
all the
very much the
magnetic.
center of this web of scientific equipment.
Yeah, let's just go to where they're probably situated. Can we see if there's any defense systems that are going to be trying to target us?
Give me you step to tactics, which makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, because this way you get a roll. Give us, unless you have something which will modify this roll, give us a standard test to scan the surface for defensive weapons.
Yay.
A success. You see absolutely no defensive weaponry at all. There's nothing on the surface but these atmosphere measuring devices. With your one success, you also realize that about a third of them aren't working.
On the North Pole?
The spiderweb centered on the North Pole, so there's sort of like 50 or 60 of them
A
spread out.
third
in
of the
this web.
sensors aren't working.
About a third, not one section, but spaced all over the place. About a third of them are not functioning at this point. As you drift in, the captain heading closer and closer, and he says, "That's where you center it where you are, right?" And he lands right in the middle. There's a tiny crunching sound as the ship settles. There's hardly any gravity here. This is only 0.5, so it's more than the moon, but not by much. It's enough for your mass of your ship to crunch through this silvered surface. You're going to leave probably the only imperfection on the surface of this planet when you leave. As you scan automatically, the ship's captain says, "It's hollow under here. There's at least one tunnel? I guess they had to live somewhere."
I mean,
Sorera, you're on.
there's a
comms,
way to map it. I mean,
Yeah? No, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
the fastest way to know where what might be underground is to send a pulse underground and see what comes back.
The captain grins at you and says, "That's what I did." And he hits a couple buttons, and up on the screen, boom, you can see like a geophys survey. You can see about 40 meters of hallway extending down at an angle. It's clear enough you can tell it's a ramp and not stairs. You can't see the lines that would mean it was stairs. I'll give you that. I'm having a good idea. Yeah.
How wide is the tunnel? Is it like person width or is it like ship
It
width?
looks. It's definitely slightly larger than person. It appears to be about 3 meters, 10 feet wide. So
All right.
there is an obvious in the scan. There is an obvious hatch that is almost directly below your ship.
And the surface of this planet, is it breathable for?
Absolutely not. No atmosphere at all. Suits are
just-
available. Adjustable suits are available.
Yeah,
They're kind of like magic items in D&D. There's always one that fits you.
I'll grab some face mask.
Oh, I can't Zorb. I'm hard light.
Yeah, you're fine. You're okay. And Sorera?
I do take one as well.
We come to this again, yes. So the 9-foot tall robot puts on.
It was 6 feet last time I checked.
Is it only
but
6?
Maybe
Okay.
9.
Maybe
6.
I'm adding stuff up. I don't know.
It's gonna be a Jaeger.
I mean, it'd probably
by
be
the
taller
end.
than
No, 6 feet's good. That's perfectly
Zark
good.
is
It's
on.
your character.
Zark's
You know. I don't. I'm guessing. Anyway, you put on the sort of bubble helmet mask thing. That's all you need here. That little pack of air to head out. And with that, the captain looks at you and says, "Obviously in this form," and he sticks his hand through his own chest, which is probably kind of creepy, and waves his arm around. "I can't leave the ship.
Cool.
I'm just a projection, so I'll stay here. If you get in any
Yeah.
trouble, send a message. I mean, there's nothing I can do, but send a message, and I'll
Well-
report it to your next of kin."
No, keep it warm, Pops. We'll be right back. Thank you. and kind of
I mean,
begins
if you
to
can
leave.
get messages to anybody, that might be interesting information to know.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do. I also want to scan the rest of this, whatever the hell this little system is. I'll find out all kinds of shit. You guys go do your thing. I'll stay here and do mine.
Gorgeous. As I start to leave the hatch, Zaxxas is going to turn back to people and just kind of say, like, either the two of you good at talking to people or relating, like
You
persuading
can lead
people.
if you would like to lead. I am exceptionally persuasive at times.
Gorgeous. Thank you. And kind of lets you go in front.
He means when he's hitting somebody with a shovel, but never mind.
When he says like persuasive, he just pulls back his guns to be like, this is all I have. So if you're like, yeah, I'm persuasive, then sure. Yeah, if he doesn't,
Yeah.
sweet.
Although, if you notice when he says persuasive, he does also have like a 6-foot long wrench on his back.
Yes, that's right. It's a wrench. I almost forgot. So with that, the three of you step out onto the surface of Darkshine. There's no atmosphere, so there's no wind, there's no sound. You can feel your boots crunching the surface slightly. This is friable material in the extreme. Every step you take, it's like a Neil Armstrong footprint. If you're wearing branded shoes, you should probably take pictures and sell the rights. It's perfectly clear. But a short distance from the... Quit singing that, Bison. You're going to distract me. It is not cold outside, and there is no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more.
Can
No,
I
shut
like
up. Yes, you can. Go.
I'm going to as I'm waiting for them to like suit up and like come down and everything, I'm going to spell my name in footprints on the surface.
The full thing or the short version? By the
I'm
time they get
thinking
down, you've got
maybe-
the first 4 letters done. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think maybe I only get the first couple.
So you can put the Y on the end.
I'll just like I don't have time to do it all in footprints, so I just kind of like drag my foot.
This says chord. E. Yeah.
Wood. All right. Well,
And as you get
Pleasure.
to the end of that last toe drag, your foot hits something hard, tunk, and you realize it's a hatch that's been made to match the surrounding sand or the surrounding material perfectly.
Ooh, I brush it off.
You start brushing that off. The other two of you drop down behind. You see them quickly doing the equivalent of writing their name in the snow, and then finding a hatch. What do the two of you do?
I land about knee deep in whatever the material is.
Oh, yeah.
Look down. I mean, I'm not light.
You're getting smaller all the time. It's no, the material is only crunches. Even your ship has only gone about 15 centimeters in.
Oh, really?
So like 6 inches. So
There's
yeah.
not that much material. What is
No.
it on then? Anyway, we'll figure out that later. I thought it was like deep snow and people are just like
Solar
slightly laying
blasted
in it.
regolith.
Okay.
Nope, it's only about this thick.
Fun.
It's almost
Anyway.
science.
So Cordelia seems to have found a thing.
Yes, she had definitely found a hatch. There's all these sensors all around you in this web pattern on the ground, and that is it.
I see if there's if there's an obvious way to open the hatch is the first question.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to ask you to roll, but no, there's nothing to. Yeah, it was designed to sit flush with the surface. The only way you find it is by busting the surface all the way around it and then dusting it off, basically. No obvious way in. While you're doing that, Zaxxas?
he's probably helping as like looking. He's kind of checking out the sensors that are if there's like some that are not working in the surrounding area. But he's gonna look at the outside of the hatch and see along like the crevices if there's any. His father was a handyman,
Yes.
so he's very comfortable around fixing old broken doors and things like that. He's just looking for something that he can shoot a pivot point or anything.
So first you start looking around for these sensors. You see this one's working, that one's not working. And it doesn't take long to figure out. You as soon as you look at it, you can see like a little, almost like a rust growth coming out of this metallic surface and climbing up the side of the sensor, and then you can see where that's worn away the material and gotten inside and shorted everything out. This took time. It would have been easy, as the son of a handy person, it would have been very easy for maintenance to prevent this. Nobody has done the proper maintenance on this stuff since they put it out here, and it's been out here for ages.
People on this planet are lazy. That's what he says to the other two people.
Then you turn to the door expecting easy access, and you start looking for a way in. As you do, the noises of the three of you scratching around, you hear from inside. The door itself vibrates. And just all you kind of feel. Zzz, zzz.
Is the door made of metal?
Yes.
So my thought to get this door open is to put my hand on the door and to attempt to make an inductive charge on my hand and then literally pull the door open. That was my thought.
Okay. This works. You're metal. This works perfectly. You put your hand on the metal door, and the other two of you hear zzz, zzz, zzz. You hear, Serrera, please go away. They're literally communicating by vibrating the door. There's no atmosphere, so it can't come out as a sound, right? You have to physically touch the surface to hear it. Also, almost science. So, with that, Serrera, you're the only one that can understand from inside. Just very regularly, they're saying, please, go away. No, please. No, we mean no harm. Please go away.
Almost intentionally ignoring it, I'm going to still attempt to open the door.
You can try to open the door. Okay, you said you were creating an induction in the door. Give me, I mean, this is kind of what you do. Give me 3 dice. Let's call this something that you have mastery of, just because.
Okay.
Let's give you advantage.
I have advantage to lift, carry, or budge.
That kind of works,
But
yeah, because you're doing
this is
it.
more like
I like
hacky,
that.
what I'm
No,
doing.
I like
If he
that
needs a
because we're
hand, I'll
specialists.
shoot a hinge.
Don't be hacking.
It's
That's my job.
electromagnetic. Well, let's do all three. There's already been one roll, but we're going to cover that and pretend it didn't happen. You guys aren't a team yet. You'd never worked together. Serrera, you start to just try to zort the door, just overwhelm it with electromagnetic energy and EMP pulse the door.
That
Is that what the plan?
but I'll take it.
No, no, you tell me. Quit. Let me tell you.
Oh, the
what
idea
the charge
was
is.
charging the hand, kind of making a magnetic connection because there isn't a handle. So kind of using my own hand as a connection, and then using that to pull it open.
Gotcha. You start doing that. At exactly the same moment, Cordy, you pull out your little porta-hackapod and start trying to hack the door. I'm never going to remember that, but it's not bad. Your porta-hackapod. Write that down. Somebody write that down. You pull out your porta-hackapod. If I say it enough times, I'll remember it. And start trying to hack the door. Easy enough. You find the network. You already know the password because you guys changed the password. And it was you that changed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are the only person that knows the password. You also realize now that one of the reasons they haven't opened the door is because they can't. They don't have the password. And at exactly the moment that you realize that, which weapon do you shoot the door with?
If it looks like he needs a hand,
Yeah.
I will fire my laser pistol at one of the hinges to try and melt it.
All right. You fire at a suspicious spot on the edge that looks like it might be a protected hinge, and so give me that shot. And also, I should have probably got a roll from Cordelia, but roll a success for me, Cordelia, so I can justify the information I gave you.
Okay.
There you go. That's enough. And a success there as well. So, it's open. Bam! And then, fwang, the door flies open stuck to your palm on a low gravity planet. I would like a test at disadvantage to stay on the surface. Time to get silly, and this is almost science as well. I said half a G. You're a giant robot. You control the spin by sort of throwing the door and releasing it, the energy going that way, slowing you down this way. But you come off the ground a good sort of 7 or 8 meters and sort of hang there when you throw the door, and then slowly come back down. When you almost get your dream, you go in to the ankles. Almost as much as the ship. The door is open, and looking down, you see 2 human males looking up this ramp at you. Just you can see the emergency screen has popped up, preventing the place from losing all its air when you tore the door off an underground base on an airless planet. I can't kill them all this early in the game, but yeah. Almost science. There is a screen, so you can see them, and through it, Zaxxas, you wave. The other 2? 2 waves?
The lack of
We're
airlock
here-
is surprising.
No, we were like,
Yeah. Serrera, what was that? And then we'll get to what Zaxxas says.
The lack of airlock is disappointing.
Yeah.
We're here to rescue you. Let us in.
You're going to go kill all the
Wanna
people in the
rescue?
workers' party? You guys are awesome. And he reaches for the big button on the wall, the other one, and doesn't have time to stop him. And he hits the button, and a second, now using these same screens, an airlock forms, and you can step through if you choose into the underground tunnel.
Workers' party. Sounds like a bunch of lowlifes that don't know what's good for them. What can you tell me about them?
They were hired to build this wonderful complex, and they did a great job. I mean, I have to say, it's spectacular. And then the contract was over, and we very nicely let them stay in the base that they built for themselves, and now they're screaming for food, but they can't pay for it. I mean, they've got no funding.
Yeah, what do you look like? A charity house? No, you look like outstanding humans.
Yeah, we're all academics.
oh.
And the other one
What
finally
kind?
pipes up and says, was about to say something to them. When you say that, they turn to you and say, funded academics.
The most
Okay.
important kind.
I see.
Well,
Quickly find my notes here. Hang on a second. I wrote this guy several days ago. I don't remember. Oh,
Should
there
I
we go.
assume you know nothing of the star?
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
you guys
very
have windows.
strong assumption. I know lots of things about that star.
No, but do you have windows? Do you know what's going on?
That it's
Windows
going all,
are important.
that it's going all green and bubbly.
Hmm?
That started at exactly the same time as that other planet exploded, Ignis.
Probably.
And around the same time that what I can only assume was your ship started showing up out of nowhere on my screens.
Plausible.
In that case, yes, I know a bit about it.
So you know you're probably gonna die.
Yes. Unless we can stop that. Can you help?
yeah, absolutely. We need to help. You gonna tell us how?
I mean, clearly they probably don't know. They've just been in the...
we're in their home. Humans are quite sensitive when you walk into their home and tell them that they're useless.
I didn't say they were useless. I said they just don't know.
Oh,
We
sorry. Yeah, I
have-
was thinking that.
A PowerPoint presentation? If you'd like to see it.
Oh my god! At least make it a hologram.
Do you have a license to show that?
We can't show the
It's very
audience,
serious.
but I can show the 3 of you.
All right. All
And of
right.
course it's hologram. Everything's a hologram.
Okay. Good.
Makes porn really weird if you're sitting in the wrong part of the room.
I'm gonna disregard that sentence.
Just down at the bottom of the tunnel, the older one slaps the younger one for saying it. There, that's the older one slapping the younger one for saying it.
Where's your cheese?
We've been well, come further. Let's go on the way to the room where we can show you the presentation. We can fill you in a little bit. He looks at the other scientist and says, "Where are you on the funding scale?" And this is a 6. He says, "Oh, then fuck off." And he just turns around and leaves. The remaining one looks over at the three of you and says, "Professor Paul Deinstein, weather specialist. We figured out in 3 days that the weather on this planet is uniformly hot and never changes. Since then, I've done absolutely nothing. Until that happened," and you look behind you through the screens and you can see the green bubbly sun.
So you were mooching.
I am fully funded. Number 1 funded, if I will have you know. That's why I'm the
So
chairman.
you were mooching.
Off my university, yes.
He was hired to do a job. He completed the task in less than the total amount of time that he has to live. He's just being efficient with his time.
It's a person who understands
No,
contracts.
he's mooching. He should have returned with his data.
Are you sure you're at the right pole? And he's pointing
I'm
at
just
Cordelia.
trying to keep
We
things
don't know
honest.
your arrangements with your employers or your benefactors. Are your employers here on this planet? Your funders.
Oh,
Doubt
God,
it.
God, no! They're far too well funded for that. They're back on Earth.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they sent us here to make our fortune. I mean, do their research. It's standard practice. And he's
Right.
looking
Okay.
at
Can I
Cordelia
see
when he
your
says that.
research?
Yes. And he pulls out his little tablet and hits a button and shows you a perfectly straight line. Those are the temperature and pressure readings on this planet for the last 9 months.
Those axis
you gonna
labels
send
are
your data?
gorgeous.
Sorry, what was that, Cordelia?
So have you sent them your data?
Live feed, constantly. They haven't even looked.
Why haven't they called you back then?
You know what Dropbox is like. They haven't got around to looking at it yet.
May I ask why our entry to the atmosphere did not register a pressure increase?
Okay, you got me. I shut it down about 6 months ago. I run power to some of them just to sort of look like I'm, but it's 182 degrees. It's always 182 degrees. There can't be any wind. There's no atmosphere. Why did they send me anemometers? You with the finger,
my-
yes.
Oh, this is out of character.
Okay.
Is
In that case,
my
you with the finger, yes.
I have many. Is my because I had to I have the password.
Yes.
Am I still in their system?
Yes.
Okay. Can I find their financing?
Yes.
Can I siphon it to my own account?
Or
just anything else.
actual money, that would require a significant scam. But what I will give you for absolutely free is the order of their funding, like how much funding each one of them has, like in order. We'll
Okay.
give you that for free because they're very proud of that. That's on their website, which now only you have access to because you changed
Good.
the...
Can I draw mustaches on all of their bio
You
profile pictures?
absolutely can. You can use various mustaches from various free websites, which do not require attribution, and you can humiliate them without breaking any rules whatsoever. The order is, and therefore the council, as you see, the positions on the council are given in order of funding. The president of the council is standing right in front of you, Paul Deinstein, specialist in weather. Number 2, listen closely, folks. Professor Amelia Beisenherd, studying uncertainty. Certainly you've all heard of the Beisenherd uncertainty principle. Professor Slodinger, who specializes in feline behavior. They're the only one that knows whether your cat is or is not dead when they're in the box. And Professor Pavlov, culinary arts. Their food makes people drool. But those in order are the 4 people who make up the Council of Ha-Has, who, remember, their slogan is, "This is not a joke." Or whatever I said before. They have various different slogans on the poster.
It's a male-dominated community.
Yes.
Disappointing. You guys study odd things for being on a moon. Where are the cats?
Then he just kind of shakes his head at you. You don't understand at all. You don't have to have cats to study cats. You can study studies of cats.
Oh, so meta-studies.
Yes, precisely. And those can be done anywhere. In fact, it's nicer to do it here. No real cats fucking up the evidence.
Sorry, what's
All
a
right.
cat?
I'll tell you
Small,
later.
furry, pointy on 5 of 6 ends. Insist on doing what they want, but the humans keep them as pets. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm a human. I don't have a cat, though, so maybe I'm not.
Okay. They're not one of the talking ones, right?
Not here, no. If
Okay.
you speak, you get paid. No, our cats don't speak.
I'm sorry, if you speak, you get paid. This is my type of place.
Yeah.
And he's going to probably walk past and just see like what the facility looks
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Because we've been in this like entry port.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he's
You're
kind
sort
of
of
being
heading-
like, oh,
Heading down
no one
this
has
ramp.
any job.
Yeah, they're trying to
Nothing
take
makes
You
you.
said you had a job for us.
They're
but,
trying to take you to the one big
You
room.
seem to be
but
distracted.
You move right past them and move ahead. Absolutely. Sorrera, what do? You see this surreal conversation happening, and then you see your new teammate, for lack of a better phrase,
I'm
storm past them.
So is Xerxes with the researcher, or is Xerxes kind of going in his own direction?
You push past them, Zexus, and there's doors on both sides of the hallway. You get to the section that's actually occupied. About every 7 or 8 meters, or every 20, 25 feet, there's a door on each side of the hallway. At the end, you can see a big double set of doors, and it says auditorium above them.
Yeah, he's just looking back and forth. He's not going to
Okay.
separate from the group. He's just
Okay.
like taking in the space, I suppose.
So
Sorry.
as you
I would-
walk, you see the titles of other scientists and their funding ranking, and it starts at 16, and then 15, 14, 13, 12. Like the closer you are to the auditorium, the better the offices are getting.
Focused on kind of his mission.
Yeah.
Kind of looking by, the one that's going to get his attention is the uncertainty one.
Okay. Yeah. They're not here, but this is just the information that they got on their tab from hacking the system. The only one that's here is Deinstein.
Can I
Yes, please.
I am going to. Okay. You said that we got the information that there's no one in the offices, right?
In these offices right now, no. It's
Okay.
not regular business hours.
I'm
people
going
have good
to
contracts.
relabel all of their ranks.
Change the numbers. Scandalous.
And it's not just gonna be backwards. It's gonna be like completely randomized.
Randomized.
Like
Uh,
numbers
do
that
a-
weren't even in the hallway before.
There's now a
like
27. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
yeah.
103.
Yeah. And Zaxxas, what were you gonna add?
Sorry,
to that?
yeah. Does Sorrera or I see her like on a notepad doing anything, or is all this happening and we don't have visual on it?
This would all be. I'm assuming this is all hacking, right, Cordelia? You're just
Mhm.
yeah. Because
I'm
the
still
windows
in
are
the
all
system.
projected.
I'm just.
Yeah.
But she's mechanically doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just typing on some sort of keypad somewhere. Yeah.
Are you taking notes? What? And he like points towards the professor and goes, "You said you had a job. We're all going to die. What is the job?"
Well, we have a couple actually. One of them would be to go to the South Pole and enter their base, I guess, like you got into ours. And we've got a couple things we'd like you to leave in very specific places in their base.
Okay.
That does not seem helpful to our objective of continued survival.
This is childish.
It's a bit like making sure there's no one behind you before you move. We have
So
information.
Scared.
We have information that might be of use to you. It's going to take us a little while longer to process it, but while we were doing that, we were kind of hoping you'd do this. They're only slightly explosive.
Oh, so you want us to commit a war crime? How much are you willing to pay us for this?
We'll fix your ship. Give you enough fuel to get to Nerth.
Will the sun not destroy Nerth as well?
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, the information we were going to give you free when you leave.
So it's
Consider-
Why
mostly
don't you
just
give us half now? We'll do your
Out of
job,
curiosity here.
and then half later.
Do we all
And
know
if you
about
don't
their
give us the other half,
like,
we'll make you.
Well, if you don't
He's
do
gonna
it
fix
right, there
half of
won't
our
be
ship?
there won't be a later. And, I mean, yeah, we'll fix... Yeah, what he said. You want money? You want money for... We got...
Oh no, we'll get the money.
We will fund you like you have never been funded before. 16, 15, and 14 won't know what hit them.
okay. So you want us to believe that you have information that, once processed, will help all of us survive this sun.
Yes. There were several anomalies in the system that all happened at the same time, and I only mentioned some of them to you before.
Why don't you mention the others now?
Because then you would have absolutely no reason to help us.
Is there anybody else around?
You see other people moving around in the background, yeah. Nobody's definitely distinctly engaged right now, but there are other people around, yes.
I will cock the hammer on my revolver and go, oh no, you have reason to tell us right now. And then we're gonna go pay your labor force a visit.
Have you guys been stuck here?
I'm sorry, I was just doing the math on the amount of energy transferred by that bullet into my... Happy
Oh,
distraction.
I'm not gonna shoot you in the head.
Stuck here is... We signed a contract to be here for a certain period of time. So yeah.
How
we're
long was that?
stuck. 18 years.
How long has it been?
11 months.
Comparative to what? Are they? Did you say they're on Nerth?
Yeah, Nerth time, 365 days. A year. 22
Okay,
months,
I guess that tracks.
Nerth.
Did you say 22 months?
Yeah, they just added a couple.
Oh my god.
Some of them are
You
only
know,
12,
I'm
13
fine if
days
you
on
shoot
now.
him.
Yes, sorry?
I said I'm fine if you shoot him.
Promotion may not be to the best of our interests at the current moment.
Okay. How about we renegotiate? You don't shoot me, and I tell you everything you want to know, and you leave as soon as your ship is fixed. Okay?
You don't want the war crime to be committed on your behalf.
I mean, if you're willing. And he's looking at the gun the whole time.
Again, if there's reasonable pay,
Well,
this can be the beginning of a nice relationship, not the end of one.
What kind of PI are you?
One that gets results.
Yeah, I can work with that.
And put in closets.
Nothing wrong with being in the closet.
You also,
I heard being out of it is more freeing, though.
you, to be fair, you have no idea how you got in there, but
Yeah, but he's embarrassed about it.
yeah, that's part of your luck. This is not the ship you. Well, you were on this ship, but you were not locked in that closet on the bridge. The last thing you remember.
Would it be a suitable negotiation if we take your indicated payloads and pay a visit and make our own judgment if we believe that these workers' party is a threat to you?
Oh, they're definitely a threat. They threaten to shut down all the work that they've done.
That is your judgment, not mine.
They keep trying to steal food.
Did anyone set up any way for them to get provisions once they finished?
Well, it's hardly our fault if they did a poor contract negotiations. Speaking of
Why
food,
didn't
would
they
you
go back
like
to
lunch?
nurse?
We'd like the information
Oh,
first,
right. Okay, well, we're here.
and then we can get into we can talk to them about their poor negotiation tactics and whether or not they deserve food.
Can I at least get an idea where the explosives might be?
Oh, we've got them safely locked away here. They're quite dangerous.
I would like to, well, spend some time to load our ship with them if we were to head out.
Yes, and you can keep a look out for our mechanics. They'll be out there very shortly. They are familiar with this. Well, they said it looked like something they were familiar with, but it wasn't quite the same. But I'm sure that you guys can figure that out.
I appreciate the gesture.
I wasn't aware they had made one. Boom, boom, hey.
Did the character himself do that?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
I've been stuck in pun mode all week. But
I don't mind. I'm just like listening to all this go down, and I'm like, this is sketchy as fuck.
Yes,
And I'm really here for it.
you are legitimately being asked to commit a war crime. That is a fair and reasonable assessment of the situation. You're being asked to bomb an enemy that you don't know.
Civilian population.
Yep. Oh,
See,
yes.
they've given me
A
explosives.
political
They've-
group. It's a
The Workers'
political
Party.
assassination.
Yep. Yeah.
They have not told me who they're going to be used against. I mean,
Oh, yes.
they tell me who they'd like it to be used against, not who I'm actually going to.
Oh yeah,
potentially-
you're just gonna
That's a good.
steal their
That's a good. No,
explosives?
they're gonna.
That's a
They have to
absolutely.
give us the explosives
Oh, I like
for
this
us to
very
do
much.
the job.
Of course. I like the
Free
way you guys
explosives.
think. Crime Incorporated. The pirates aren't the only ones that had this idea. With that, then, you start to gather information. You're shown the explosives. They are absolutely... They're reverse armor-piercing rounds. They're designed to be fired from inside an underground structure. They are designed to just burst a hole straight to the surface, allowing the atmosphere to escape, the vacuum to come in, and everybody to die.
Oh, so it's like a recharge type thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a shape charge that's faced up. They show you a map of the workers, the base that they're in, which is dramatic only for its boredom. It is perfectly rectilinear. It's just rows of identical rooms with mess halls in between. It is nothing like the splendor that you're sitting in now. As you look at that, you start to look around yourself, you realize this isn't fake wood. In this auditorium, the seats you're sitting in are real wood that were brought here from somewhere. The walls are not just painted rock. Somebody surfaced them. They've gone so far as to put wallpaper in places.
Gag.
The gear is top of the line. The hollow presentations of the that start to pop up on the screen are almost hard light quality. I'll let you decide whether you take that as an insult or not.
I find it very amusing, but it confirms my belief that I am better than them.
Yes, I did say almost. What you see in the presentation, some of it you already know because you were part of some of it, and some of it he's told you already. The sun boiling green, your arrival in this pocket universe that is only one solar system and nothing more. The explosion of a planet in the outer section of this solar system called Ignis, a disturbance in a gas giant called Frost, and an increase in radio traffic between Earth and its 12 moons. All happened. All that stuff happened, and then the burst of traffic between Earth and its 12 moons. All at the same time. All connected. They have no explanation as to how there's nobody else on the ship but you four. They have no explanation as to, well, they offer no explanation unless anybody asks them to try, as to how Zaxxus ended up in the closet. But that's all we know.
Was anyone doing anything on Ignis? Like, clearly you should have been monitoring Ignis, not the atmosphere that stays. Did none of you have any curiosity? Like, what? Did you not get bored?
Ignis
Like, are you
had
guys really scientists? Like, what self-respecting scientist doesn't like maybe get a little bored and curious and like try to study, I don't know, the rest of the solar system? Like, guys,
one that has a
discipline.
job, I'd argue.
1.7 million souls died when Ignis exploded. There isn't a particle left bigger than my thumbnail. It's not radioactive, but there is something in the pulse of the explosion that is vibrating at exactly the same frequency as that green mess that's boiling up in the sun. That same frequency appeared at a depth that we cannot possibly plumb into the gas giant called frost. And the radio transmissions between Earth and its moons did not happen on the standard frequencies, but on one that matched everything else.
Can I try to like suss out this radio frequency? Do they have like a radio still tuned into that?
You can watch back the information that they have. In fact, he just hits a couple buttons and it starts to play in a small subscreen. If you would like to watch that back, and it's a 3D reconstruction of the whole this whole little solar system. You can see how the planet's orbiting at abnormal speeds, just to show you the effect. And then you see it's exactly as he said. Ignis explodes, the sun goes green, there's a little flash of communication here, but just before that, you and yours appear here, damaged with no crew. And give me, because we haven't made you roll a single time you've hacked shit yet, give me a hack roll. Do you have hacking as a skill? Yes, you
I do.
Right? So give me one with advantage.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Just barely. And way out at the edge, just inside the bubble that this solar system exists in, something. A ship? Maybe? Something.
Zoom.
That's all you can get.
Ah,
There's something
okay.
way. I mean, this is literally as far away as you can be and still be in this bubble, right? Well, no, you could be the
Okay.
other side of the circle, but yes.
I clock that.
Okay, I just saw another finger over here. I'm going to quickly cut to Serera.
So on the start, is there any note of the surrounding robots that we ran into, or no?
Oh, do a
I'm
scan
hoping
for
no,
me.
but
Give me you're at
Okay,
comms. Give me a
I'll do
sensor
a
scan,
scan.
and you can reroll one if you're not just using your reroll, but because you're on comms, you get to reroll one sensor scan. So give me 2 dice, and if it fails, give me 2
we'll just
again,
retest.
just for being there. Yeah, worked the first time. Okay, sorry, what was it you were trying to find out?
I'm trying to see if on the scientist graphic, if there's if they're aware of the robots, or if the robots are kind of on their own,
Yes,
if they're kind of neutral party or not.
the robots that you've seen, the defensive robots that you dealt with, one of them, have all been essentially shut down. They've been overwhelmed by what you see is a new radiation coming out of this star. And you have enough engineering to know they're right. It's not normal. It's not anything that's on the scale. There's definitely something coming off of it, but nothing that your instruments can measure. And Deku Lily, I'll let them know. I know them. They came in last night and dropped 10 gift subs on us all. So, but back to this. I jumped to the ever practical and not necessarily very popular Zaxxas. I love the
He
dynamic of
is
this team. This is great.
Out of his element,
Yeah.
and just staring into space, both literally and figuratively, and going. Did Cordy point out that one ship on the outer rim
That's a question.
that I could see?
Cordelia, did you Have you popped this up on the main screen? I mean, you're the only one with the password. I keep telling you this, yeah.
I think I'm gonna take a hard look at it, realize I can't get a better like grasp of it,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be like, check this, and then I'm just gonna swipe it onto the main screen.
The second it hits the main screen, the professor looks at it and looks at you and just kind of raises an eyebrow. Because now he knows who took his password.
Presentation.
He continues
You don't
on.
know
to
if
the-
I did it or if I
His
just added
presentation is on his private password. This is his corporate password that she's got. I got this shit covered. This-
Right. What's that?
Don't know.
and he
The
starts.
ship.
He starts
Yeah, I
typing
asked him.
madly. And oh, I didn't notice. Well done. But I didn't notice it at all. Just a second, and he. The funding in this planet is bloody amazing. Look at the astronomy team we've got. And he hits a button, and it just starts zooming. Have you ever been in IMAX? Did you ever been in a skiing one? Or one for a sport that you've actually done? You get or the diving ones when they're underwater. It's just it is absolutely surrounds you. It is absolutely this image that you are falling into. You are falling across the solar system, buzzing planets like the very best NASA videos, scooting through cometary fields past Frost, this beautiful blue gas giant, dozens of its own little stars, some of them so big they have their own rings. It's a lovely pale blue with slightly darker storms on the surface, and one ugly green knot starting to show up deep in the depths. It continues to scan past into the asteroid field. You can tell it's millions of years old. The rocks are gray and brown and ancient. Across a short piece of space, and then into their shrapnel that used to be Ignis. It's tiny. It's like going through a snowstorm in a car at high speed. It's just past you. This used to be people. This used to be a planet. This used to be industry. And it's all just dust now. And out beyond that, because astronomical distance is double, each time it takes forever to get out to the edge, out to those tiny little snowballs that might or might not be planets. And way out there, hiding behind one of those, a dark red and black ship, like a blob melted onto the side of one of these little snowball planets. The only reason you're really seeing it is because it's radiating a different frequency, a search frequency. You can tell that. It's penetrating this whole solar system. And as soon as you tune to it, it's like tuning to the sonar of a submarine. You can now read what it's reading. It's scanning the area where the explosion happened. And it's doing it at a resolution that none of you could ever imagine in the best machinery you've ever seen. This place is alien to you. And that thing, that spaceship, is alien to here too. You look back at the data and there is a tiny little blip that apparently the professor missed. More than one ship got brought into this galaxy, or this solar system before it's closed. When the explosion happened, sorry.
Can we get a read on it?
You've never... actually, give me a... Actually, who's in comms? Serrera, give me a sensor check. With the one success, I know this game it's either success or fail, so I got to give you stuff. But you... the only other thing you pick up on it is that their arrival here, I'll give you this. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna. It doesn't coincide with the explosion. It's about 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, 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 2 minutes later whatever went bang here and brought you here is not what brought that thing here. That thing came here under its own power.
Do you communicate that, Serrera?
Not here, but on the way back.
Okay. You guys, just for ease of purposes, if you do this, it means you're on private comms to each other. I'm assuming you would have
Okay.
sort of exchanged contact info by now, being the only four survivors on the ship.
Yeah. It's also going to include the captain of the ship in that,
Okay.
if comms reach out that far.
Yep, absolutely it does. You know me. Yes, it does. We're not going to
So
do an annoying trip
So that would
across
be
space
they're
just
all
to have a
knowing of this
conversation.
ship that showed up 2 minutes later.
Yes.
Well, we know the ship's there, but this specifically information that it showed up 2 minutes after we did.
So the four of you, if you want, you can have the professor says, I'm assuming you'd like to discuss this. You can use room A if you'd like. And he points to a row of rooms along one side. As you look into them, and if you choose step into them, you can see they're Faraday caged, basically, so nobody can listen to what's going on in there. They will allow for external conversations through a special via duct. So yes, you can bring the captain in on this. There's a little hollow of him on the table. What have you found out?
There's too many mysteries for my liking, but one in particular is a ship that seems to have appeared on its own volition. That has me the most interested.
Ah, yes. And he starts flipping through his notes.
If it got here on its own volition, that means it can get us out.
That is certainly
Precisely
one
my
of the
thought.
options. I believe the other one might be in that gas giant, but I'm not quite sure how we're going to get in there.
Other one. Like there's a ship inside the planet.
There's a construct inside the gas giant, orbiting at a layer where it should be getting crushed, but it isn't. We don't know why, but it certainly needs to be investigated. It's got to be connected. It started exactly the same time as this. And I looked it up and then I forgot it, so I got to look it up again. Oh, and that ship? The Nos Volos. That's all I can read. The registry numbers don't make any sense in our world. You did know
Nos
we're not
Volos?
home, right?
That was understood. Whenever it was, we got here and did our first scans.
Yes.
But it is intriguing, the idea that there might be other worlds that can potentially get here as well. So we might need to keep an eye on that.
Well, I can only presume that they're from the universe that cut this particular solar system out. I'm just looking up the files here. It's hard to get a read on it. The level of doublespeak is amazing. But as close as I can figure out, they've been locked up for open belligerency. But there's some argument in international courts as to whether that was legitimate or not. I'm having trouble
Are
getting
they-
information because I can't even get information from outside this system right now.
Sorry, which ship was locked up for open belligerency?
This entire solar system.
Oh. Kind of looks at Cordia and goes, "Were you arrested for open belligerency?"
We were never arrested. We were only ever charged, and we weren't told about the charges until the entire place was locked up. It's ridiculous. We'd appeal, but we can't get out to get to court.
Wait.
So, is this
You were
an illegal extermination?
Oh
It-
no,
it-
no, no!
it
We're not.
died.
We're not going to die. We can live here as long as we want. We just can't leave. There's literally nowhere
So-
to go from here.
Captain, are you from here?
The Invex captain, your captain of the ship? No, I'm from.
I'm not sure who we're speaking to then.
This is the professor is still there. Oh no, sorry, you left
the
him out of the
professor is
room.
still
Yeah,
here.
yeah. He was
Sorry, you left
separate.
him out of the
left.
room.
So I was
Pardon
like,
me.
what?
So, pardon my mistake. NPC location fault. DM mode engaged. Ignore everything I said from his position.
Okay. Okay. So the captain's
But
told
the
us that
captain
there's
has
two
given you
different
that
ships.
information. Yes,
There's the gas giant, and then there's the external one.
yes.
They're-
There's something
they're in the
gas
license
giant.
plate.
There is a ship. The other information, most of that you get from the captain as well. So
Okay.
that this has been
Well-
locked away. So yeah, he can pull. That makes sense. Yeah, he can pull that information from the existing sources. They're very angry. Instead of doing it in first person, this is in third person. They're very angry about being locked away and the fact that they can't get to court to launch an appeal because they can't get out of their system. And how that
So-
seems to be a horrible circle. Yes. It's okay.
So
You're
is
supposed to be
this-
confused right now.
Is this an illegal extermination center?
No, we're not going to die. If we can prove that we're peaceful, they have to let us go. They are watching, but we can't directly communicate with them. It's a whole fourth wall issue.
So you attempting to commit a war crime is not helpful.
Which is why... the captain says, which is why I suspect he didn't tell you that.
Which is why I asked for the explosives and decided I'm not going to do anything with them unless, the need arises.
Ah, you're going to lie. Good. Because they are belligerent.
Already
They're
have.
belligerent as AF. The history of violence in this system is outrageous. It's unnatural. There's no
Why are we
way.
here then?
Sorry?
Why are we here then? I technically don't even know you people. I just find this kind of entertaining. Who are you?
Well-
Why were you in the closet? Who's the guy with the what was the what is this place?
I think it's hell, but or sorry, that's a word you recognize, right? Anyways, last I was conscious, was escorting a criminal to get a bounty paid on his head. A smuggler of sorts, a drug dealer, lowlife. Terrible
You need to
lowlife.
reacquire your criminal.
If he's even in this system, if he is, maybe that's punishment enough. But then I wouldn't get the bounty.
Don't
Let's
worry
see if
about
the
it.
mechanics fixed up our ship and we can go talk to the wardens or whatever they are on the.
Their knowledge of the explosives was concerning. I would almost prefer the Workers' Party take a look at our ship.
Oh, you think
as-
that they're not going to fix it properly?
As you say that, you get a notification and you check, and it says ship repaired. Another one comes from the professor, and it says explosives loaded. The decision is yours. ... And after a long pause, smiley face.
Okay. Well, let's get back on this ship and check out their handiwork. Is that agreeable, or do we want to talk to these eggheads some more?
So when we get to the ship,
Yep.
can I do like a diagnostic scan to like make sure stuff wasn't tampered with?
Absolutely can. Yes. Give me a hacking. So yeah, give me a roll with advantage.
And I'd like to do a handyman check.
Yep, absolutely.
See if I can
Give
stretch
me-
that.
I
Give
am
me an
also doing
engineering
handyman
check.
check.
That's just handyman with a degree, right?
Engineering, got it.
Yeah. And yeah, just many successes.
Ooh.
Yeah. You guys figure out everything that you can figure out. The ship has not been messed with. It has actually been fixed. The weapon or the explosives are in the hold in small containers, which will at least contain the explosion if it were to go off prematurely. It won't do permanent damage to the ship. It will damage the hold, but it won't get up to you guys and kill everybody.
You two, do you know if these explosives are remotely triggered and if we have the only remotes?
There are no remotes and no timers.
Is that because of the model of the explosive, or because they didn't give us the remotes?
The what you figure out is that they have the power to set them off.
I
Not
think
you.
we jettison those when they're not looking.
yeah, good
Cordelia,
question
I believe
because
you've
that does
changed your
change
passwords
things.
before.
Very good question. Yes. And they made a new account with a new password, and
I
these are
change
on
it again.
that. you can hack it again.
Yeah, get the bomb password. That's very important.
Yeah. Okay. Give me another roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the bomb password.
Cordelia. 3 dice hacking. 3
Man.
dice hacking.
I mean,
The password is password. Again, silly
Uh,
buggers. You
My
changed the
tabs
password.
are going crazy. I'm sorry.
You changed the password
To password.
to whatever it is that you like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The password.
Um,
Yes.
I'm gonna.
on our trip to the south, can I see how difficult it would be to just, temporarily remove the firing mechanism from these explosives?
You can once we take off here. Yes.
I'm gonna change the password. To. You guys suck, but in like Russian or something, or like
In,
Klingon.
Volapuk is a
Yeah.
language that actually exists. It is Russian using the signs and symbols on a cell phone.
Hell yeah.
To mimic the Russian letters. Just
Hell
like we
yeah.
use, what is it called? Is it leet speak? Where you use the
Yeah.
numbers and letters? Yeah, it's like that, but it's called Volapuk and it's to redo the Russian letters. So,
And then there's a
Nussians.
random
Yeah, they're near
Japanese
Russian.
emoticon at the end.
Yes, of Nerth, yes, the Nussians. Exactly. So, yes, you changed the password to that. With that, the ship is free to launch as you wish. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Oh,
did I
holding
get
you
the-
back with your successes.
Okay, never mind.
What was your question?
I was gonna say, did I get the bomb password?
Yes, you just
Okay.
that's what I thought you had just changed.
Okay, yeah, okay,
To
sorry.
this. So you now have the bomb password, which is you guys suck in Nussian, which is near Russian. So,
Near Russian.
yes, thank you, chat. Nothing from Nerth, right? Nerth is near Earth, so yeah, Nussian is near Russian. That way we can do satire. You get that password locked in.
Yeah.
The 3 of you were on the ship. Quick scan. Nobody else is here.
Okay, so we have two options as I see it. There's the Workers' Party. We could go just say hi, maybe give them a ride off of this desolate place, or rough them up, whatever you like. Other option is we go talk to that warden ship or whatever it is on the edge of this solar system, and tell them that we ended up here by accident.
Why don't we go to the ship? Because that seems more interesting.
We're in it right now. I'm sorry.
I don't believe we have enough fuel to
You
get
mean
to
the one
the
at the outside edge
ship
of the
on the
solar
far edge
system?
of the solar system.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Is that the
Yeah,
one you
why
meant?
don't we
Okay.
why don't we go see the mystery ship, because that's more interesting.
Los Volos.
And if we don't like them, we can threaten them with explosives.
Well,
Seems-
people stay here if they're being openly violent. So
True.
maybe threatening.
Why don't we tell them that the scientists are threatening them with the explosives, and then if they're annoying enough, we'll just blow them up.
I don't believe
They
we
can't
understand their
get us
technology
home.
well enough to for those type of calculations.
Okay.
We could just ask them nicely. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just want to leave.
Yeah, let's ask them nicely and see what happens. But again, they may be the only way out of this place, so we might have to kiss a carapace or 3, right?
After I handle the triggering mechanisms, would you like me to look for communication channels?
Sure, yeah.
I may not have to
Well,
contact them
get-
directly, but
So you get in the ship and you prepare the ship for launch, and you start. The captain is doing all the work again. You start to lift, and
Again.
he says, South Pole or orbit?
Orbit.
You start to
South
lift.
Pole. Okay, bye.
South Pole's where the other base is, but this is orbit, as in you're going to go to orbit and then leave and go somewhere else.
I'm
was
kind of
unsure
sick
if we
of
had
this
enough fuel.
place.
You do
They're
not.
feel
You've
like we
been,
had a fuel
you
issue.
are completely refueled and completely. Your ship is completely refueled and completely refitted, and fit as a fiddle
Okay.
to fly. Fit as a fiddle to fly. Fit as a fiddle to fly. Sounds like a party song. I've had 27 rye and I'm fit as a fiddle to fly. Hey. Don't
And
fly
there are
drunk,
still
kids.
98 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yes. So, the ship starts to lift. Somebody said orbit and starts to lift towards orbit. Serera, as you head towards the bombs in the back and the payload, just as you get into the room that they're in, the little boxes that they're in, all four of them start to flash a yellow light. Deet, 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 deet. On the bridge, the two of you remaining, a message pops up on the screen. It says, "This is not what we planned."
I thought you changed the bomb password.
I did.
Apparently not. Get back down to the South Pole now, Pops, and like goes to rush
You-
down to the
you
menu.
start running
Serera!
down,
Yeah.
He takes off after Serera. Cordelia. What do? You can check your work.
Yeah, I'll check my work.
Okay, give me a hacking check. Nope.
God damn it.
Nope. You did everything right. You absolutely, when you type in that password and hit the button, it works. You have control of the bombs. In fact, there's the button right there that says you can turn them off.
I mean, clearly, if they were able to do this, I'm cocky, but I'm not stupid. So, I know that they're planning to, what's the word?
Blow you
Go
the hell up.
back. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're planning on going back to the South Pole
Yep.
because they're scaredy pussies.
If the ship starts to drop out of orbit, you have been told that the bombs won't go off. Other than that, you seem to have control of the bombs.
Yeah, but I don't trust any of this anymore.
I like using failure as a confused success. I really enjoy it as a
Yeah.
mechanic.
Yeah. I knew something was up when you
Yeah.
were like, yeah, you changed the
Yeah.
password.
Here, have some information. Yeah.
When we, because we're going backwards, so we're gonna pass.
If you're heading down to land, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna pass the North Pole again.
Yep.
On
In
our
orbit,
way
sure.
to the South Pole,
Yep.
I am going to open the bay door
Yep.
and
It's in the
just
bay. Okay.
Yeah.
push
That's okay.
them out over the scientists.
Your plan is to drop the bombs on the scientists. Okay, I love it. So you head in the same direction. The three of you, Serera, let's start with you. You're in the bay. The lights go boop 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 boop. What do you do?
I mean, if they're going boop boop boop,
Mm-hmm.
I know what that means.
Yeah, they've entered countdown.
So in all honesty, if
mode.
they're going boop boop, I'm pushing them. I'm basically shoving them as close as I can to the edge, and they're getting
Okay.
vented into space.
All right.
I mean, if
So-
they're going boop
and-
boop,
yeah.
then they're going bye bye.
Okay.
If-
So you're
If they
up.
stopped, then I was going to, investigate, maybe try to defuse the trigger mechanism. But I don't feel like I have that kind of time.
You might get one or two done. You get the impression. Probably not all four. So you start shoving them towards the
I mean, in
door,
that case, the worst thing you can do is kick a bomb, and so I'm just gonna kind of kick it that direction.
you push it towards the door and wait.
Actually, you know what? The safest place, if it's a shape charge, is facing back anyway. So
Yes, it is a shaped charge. So as you start working with that, like where do I point it when it goes boom? What's going to do the least amount of damage? Zaxxus, you come charging in because you left next.
Yeah. Did I hear Cordy say that she's gonna open up the bay door on my way running down towards it?
Oh, I did not communicate that that was what I was gonna
Okay,
do.
so
We
I
didn't decide
go
that till
like
after you left, so yeah.
I like scream into the room and just like look and go, get away from the bombs! Come on!
You see Panic Autoborg like holding up.
Pushing them onto the door, onto the trap door on the floor. Absolutely. As you do so, the trap door snaps open as Cordelia vents the bay. You still have your mask on, thank goodness, Zaxis. Serrera, you still have yours on as well. I need both of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do whatever save. But if that happens, yeah, we'll get after that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You. That's fine. You can breathe just fine. The problem is the suction as the air rushes out into space. As you're high enough now. You're not actually spacebound yet, but you're high enough so that there is a massive decompression. So I need, unless you can tell me why you're dexterous or can evade, for example.
I am excellent at evading.
I think both of you are actually excellent at evading. Are you? Oh, not in this form though.
Nope. No, I'm not.
Okay. I'm giving you Serrera. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I was close to that door.
Yeah, you were. I'll give you a choice, Serrera. Even though you didn't roll for a tough choice, I'm going to give you one anyway. You can. You have a split second. You can do what needs to be done to become extraordinarily evasive. But
That's not happening.
there is
Okay.
no guarantee that something might not go out the hole.
I'll
I mean-
throw my sorry. I'll throw my chain with the handcuffs,
Yep.
or that'll get sucked. So that gets
Yep.
drawn towards your general direction. So there's a lifeline. It was the thing that I was gonna say.
Perfect.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay, Serrera. Now, this big metal chain is hanging in front of you. You have a split second. What do you do?
I was gonna grab the trap door, so I'm gonna reach out with the trap door with kind of one arm,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna reach back for the chain with the other,
Yeah. And you're
and
gonna
really hope I can hold on.
Okay, you're going to go for a physical strength check. All right, we can do that too. So, extraordinarily evasive person there. Give me advantage roll to avoid getting sucked out. Oh yeah, no problem. You grab a hold
And I
of one.
succeed on a 4 as well.
Oh
for
yes, you
evasion.
do. That's right. So yeah, 2 successes. Yeah, you just and your hands go out and just slam.
My
into two
wings
walls.
flap out.
Yes, and there's just a until it fades away to nothing, and you're just standing there breathing through your mask in a void. Serrera, give me a strength test. Just a standard
I
test.
happen
for
to be
strength.
exceptionally strong,
I know you are.
as we have referred to as in this form. I'm
Yes, so
exceptionally
you
strong,
advantageously strong in this particular form. So go ahead and give us a 3 dice.
Ha, that's an O.
Now,
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the story as it's being told, so I'm not going to re-roll that, just to let you know.
perfect. Okay, in that case, we did some foreshadowing because now that bad choice is upon you again. If the Autoborg doesn't do something, they're going to get sucked out into space.
I thought we were in upper atmosphere.
Well, yes. So worse, you'll get sucked out into at a very high altitude, and experience a very poor reentry. Being Elon, we call it.
That's what happened to the Master Chief, and he turned out okay.
The bad thing is I kind of want to try re-entry. This is the bad part.
Absolutely.
I want to go for
why is that a
re-entry.
bad
I
thing?
really do.
Well, then do it.
It's not as a fun thing. You only get to do that a handful of times, sometimes only once.
Yes, and it will leave you on a planet that the ship is rapidly leaving. But don't let fear or common sense hold you back. What would you like to
I
do?
mean, it's only
You're
me
on
and
the way
4
out the door.
explosives, we said?
What's that?
Me and 4 explosives, we said?
Yes. Yes, that is correct. You and 4 explosives heading out the door at speed. Let me give you a second to think about it. Let's go to Cordelia. What are you doing?
floating in the bay watching this happen.
You look back and you see all of this on the screens. You see them almost being sucked out. You see the bombs go out the door.
Once the bombs are out, shit. Because Sorera's like out the hatch too, right?
About 50-50 right now, yeah. It's Schrodinger's hatch at the moment.
Okay.
You
In
won't know
that
whether you're going to
case-
crush him with the door until you try. Suborbital
gonna-
autoborg ejection.
Okay, so gonna get back into the ship system.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to time the drop where like so the explosives are gone.
Yes.
I want to reduce power to the bay hatch so that
Okay.
it closes more slowly.
I see what you're going to do. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Give me a hack roll. Yep, you managed to do that. You set it into safe mode, and it starts to close. It's basically like elevator doors now. If it encounters something, it'll stop, but it will keep trying to close.
To like give him kind of a platform.
That's what you're doing as Sorera's flailing with one hand in space. Zaxxas. We're on our way out here, so your big closing move for the episode.
He is going to. Yeah. Is there any like handhold that I can go down? Like, can I like
Oh, you wanna-
use my body as like a pivot weight and just kind of reach out and go?
I just met you. Please don't die and leave me alone with her.
And just has an arm out.
You hold on with this arm, like the top left arm, and stick the bottom right leg out, and it's like that just makes you
Yeah.
long
Well, I have
enough.
6
Yeah.
arms, so I'm
Yeah.
like I'm mounted in a bunch of different locations and trying to like
Absolutely,
give
yeah.
him something
And you
else to
just
hold on to.
Giving him that one free appendage to grab a hold of. Sorera, you have 3 choices. Fall out, make a re-entry. Do a switcheroo and evade madly. Or grab this new friend's hand and try and pull yourself back in. If you fail that, there is a chance that both of you will go out the door.
I'm not
Honestly,
dying
I
today.
thought what was going to
Is what I
happen
said.
is if I grab his arm and it's too hard, his arm kind of comes off.
It'll grow back.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I
mine
don't
did
know.
too, but let's not talk about that too
I don't
much.
know. I just decided that. I don't know. But what are you doing?
I mean, I'm gonna go for the hand because if somebody's gonna give me a hand, I'm gonna try.
Absolutely. And with your
But what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna be trying to be gentle, so I'm not using like the full autoborg strength.
yes, yeah. But you need
So
to
the
reach
idea
up
being
there
it's
and
going to be a
just
standard test.
pull yourself back in. Fair enough. Give me a
If you would.
standard. Yeah, absolutely. I say yes a lot, especially when you put limits on yourself. No, you miss. Your hand swings past. You realize. I mean, that's a 1 and a 2. You realize very quickly, Zaxxas, that if you could grab his arm right now, but physics is against you, you would go too. So you specifically said, "I'm not dying today."
Well, because I have specific abilities that if
Yep.
I were to crash land on a planet, I might not die.
Yeah.
But if it's impossible, that if I do grab him and I don't get a check, like I won't do it.
Yeah.
But if there's a chance, I'll try and help him out.
Well, I'll save you the roll because what happens is your chain, which we haven't mentioned a couple rounds, is still flapping out that hole. Sorera, you lose your grip and you fall. And it's the slow motion, just reaching for anything as you fall. You reach up and grab the chain just before the end. The manacle slams around your wrist and almost pops it off. But you're made out of metal. It stretches. The titanium in your arm that's supposed to not be stretchable stretches. One arm is an inch longer than the other one now. And you just... Then you are now in the slipstream of a ship that is rapidly leaving the atmosphere, dangling out the back on a rope, spinning. You look up and see the infinite darkness of space. And inside the hull, your 2 companions. One through a porthole, slamming buttons like mad on the control panel, trying to close the door. The other one who just went, no. Okay, maybe. Just before you went out. And that is where we'll leave the three of you. Until next week. Whew, I wasn't sure we were going to get a cliffhanger out of that, but yeah.
Yeah, we got a literal one.
Pointless
Yeah, yeah,
bravery, and we
absolutely.
got a cliffhanger to go out on.
No,
I love
no,
it.
it's not a cliffhanger. It's a ship hanger.
A ship hanger. It is. I will provide you guys. I've never done this before, but this is kind of a mystery. So I'm going to by next week I will provide you with a point form list of the things that you. I'm hoping that you got this week, so that you can begin to put together this mystery and figure out how to get yourselves out of here.
Okay.
And or save the place. I just hope those are the two options that you've got. You can get yourselves out and leave them to their own devices, or you could save them and then get out if you want. There's all kinds of options.
Thank you, Thunderscape.
Thank you, everybody in chat, because I'm just about to get to the thank you.
Oh my god, yeah, chat was great.
Oh, the chat was wonderful. They always are. They're absolutely amazing. But let's do the people first so I don't forget. The three of you that showed up to play these amazing characters in this weird little mystery that I didn't really tell you was a mystery. And I appreciate all of you coming to play. Nick, Serrera is not only physically getting buffeted. I get the sensation that Serrera is kind of mentally getting buffeted around by this whole experience too. And I'm very happy to hear that, because I wanted you guys to be very confused at the end of this episode. And I think I did that. But thank you so much, Nick, for coming to play. I appreciate Serrera all over the place. Oh, Wayward. Cordelia is loud, outspoken, smart, and occasionally very, very wrong. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And when you're found to be wrong, you just change the conversation and go somewhere else. Absolutely magnificent. Telling off the scientist that he's a terrible scientist just before he does the lore dump on you was absolutely wonderful moment. I felt it very much defined Cordelia as a character. You have zero time to impress me. Too late. I love
I've
it.
given you plenty of chances.
Yes, and yet at the heart of it, she is this wonderful, nice person who wants to, who is a good communist at heart. From what we've been able to see so far, you wanted to go and save the Workers' Party.
Not anymore.
Well, not. Let me rephrase that. Not you're a good communist. You just hated the bourgeoisie scientists that I put in front of you. So, yeah, you should have
I'm
seen
programmed.
the pirates. Oh, you should have seen the pirates. They were awful. Anyway, that brings us to our new player, Eddie. Thank you so much for joining. You fit right in, and I love it. You did I said how brave it is to come into somebody, another game with people that you don't know. To come in to a game with people you don't know with a character as abrasive as Zax's is bold, man. I appreciate that from way down deep. That is, to play an unlikable character I really enjoy doing it.
Unlikable? How dare you? He's so lovable.
But I love them. I love those characters because it's just this gaping hole that says character development, right? I love it. So, and I also like the overreaction to humans. I won't give any way more backstory than that, but I really like what you did with that too. So, thank all of you for coming and playing. Thanks, Connor. He wasn't here tonight, but he was here last week, so I'll thank him anyway. This is going to be a great crew if and when we get you all together. It's already a great crew, both of the subgroups that we've seen. So thank all of you three. Thank you also to chat, to everybody that was in chat tonight. I see some of you found out you got gift subs from Roosbar last night, so ta-da! He's an amazing human being. You guys are going all night, as always. The conversation over there, the puns, the jokes, Nushin of Nurth, it was beautiful. Suborbital Autoborg ejections, magnificent. Bought on a string is kind of what I was thinking, but yeah. But thank you so much for coming to watch us. And finally, to the YouTube peoples in the future. You watched all the way to here, so I'm going to assume you liked it. Please hit the like button. Leave us a comment, because I actually do go and read them. We don't get a lot of them, so I actually have time. I can go and read every single damn one of them. So pop in there and leave one when I remember to post it on YouTube. Until then, until next time, just before I do that, one more thing. Friday, Saturday, Sundays, we're here 3 days a week, different shows on Friday. Friday night is alternating. Last night we did our very nasty, dark, The Unwanted. Next Friday is part 2 of a ridiculous 2-shot called One Tiny Thing After Another. And then Saturdays we're doing this for the foreseeable future. Sundays we're doing a long-form D&D game that used to be Storm King's Thunder but hasn't been for quite some time now. So tune in for that. Friday, Saturday, Sundays on here. Until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.